Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the financials that move the world and sometimes just the people who make them move. Today we're looking at WAG Group Coined, their recent Form 8K filing. Now this isn't a typical quarterly report, it's a current report, which usually means something important and immediate has happened, and boy, has something happened here. It looks like WAG has sold off a pretty significant chunk of their business. So what went down? On July 14th, WAG Labs, which is part of WAG Group Co., sold off something called Prescription. Think of Prescription as WAG's software and business specifically for veterinary e-prescriptions. Basically, they sold their prescription service for pet owners to get medication through vets online. The buyer is a company called MWI Veterinary Supply Company. The deal itself is called an asset purchase agreement, and for selling this prescription business, WAG got paid $5 million in cash, but here's a twist, $500,000 of that. So $500,000 was held back. This is like a security deposit. It's to cover any potential problems or liabilities that might pop up after the sale that WAG is responsible for. If everything goes smoothly, WAG will get that $500,000 back, but they have to wait 18 months. When they talk about selling the business like this, MWI basically bought everything related to Prescription. We're talking about all the contracts they had, the actual software, any computers and equipment used for it, money owed to them, the employees who worked on it, and all the brainy stuff, the intellectual property. It's a pretty clean break offloading that entire part of the operation. Now this is where the plot thickens, and we understand why they sold. The money they got from selling Prescription isn't just landing in their bank account to do whatever they want with. Remember that financing agreement they had back in August 2022, the one that got moved to a company called Retriever LLC back in April. Well, this money is going straight to pay off the debt they owe to Retriever. Retriever is described as their secured creditor, which means they have a claim on WAG's assets if they don't get paid. The filing also includes a standard disclaimer about the agreement itself. They're saying that the promises they made in that contract were made on specific dates and are really for the benefit of the buyer and seller. So we shouldn't read into those promises as if they reflect the absolute truth today. It's a legal CYA, cover your assets move essentially. This section just confirms that the sale we just talked about in item 1.01 has officially closed. So the Prescription business is now officially MW. Here in item 8.01, they're talking about something they'd already mentioned. WAG has been looking at their options like should they get new investments, team up with other companies, sell off parts, or even merge. They were trying to figure out the best way forward. But the problem is all those searches for better options didn't lead to a deal that would allow them to fully handle their debt from that financing agreement. Even the money they just got from selling Prescription, that $5 million, is only going to cover part of what they owe. That's a pretty stark reality check. So what's next? WAG is currently talking to Retriever, the company they owe money to. They're trying to work out a deal to satisfy their obligations. These talks could potentially allow WAG to keep operating. It's a bit like discussing payment plans when you're in a tough spot. However, and this is a big however, the filing is very clear. There's no guarantee these negotiations will work out. They might not find a solution, the board might not approve it, Retriever might not agree, or it might not happen before their financing agreement is due in August 2025. They could even fail to reach any agreement. And if they can't work things out, Retriever has the right to step in and take action to get their money back from WAG and its assets as allowed by their agreement. That could mean a lot of things, unfortunately not good things for WAG. To try and avoid this worst case scenario, WAG might have to take drastic steps to get the most value out of what they still own. And yes, that even includes the possibility of seeking protection under bankruptcy laws. This is the ultimate oh knows their debts. We don't have detailed financial tables in this specific filing, as it's a current report focused on a specific event. However, the context from the other event section gives us a pretty clear picture of WAG's financial situation. Selling off a business unit usually means a company is facing financial pressure. The fact that the proceeds from selling Prescription are only a partial payment towards their debt, coupled with the looming August deadline for their financing agreement and the mention of potential bankruptcy, paints a picture of a company under significant financial stress. They are trying to manage a debt burden that they can't fully cover with their current operations or even with the sale of a key asset. This whole filing is filled with what they call forward-looking statements. That's basically legalese for guesses about the future. They're talking about what might happen regarding negotiations with Retriever, potential bankruptcies, securing new deals, and so on. It's important to remember these are just possibilities, not guarantees. The company is basically covering its bases, legally speaking, by stating these potential future events. Now let's put on the analyst hats. WAG. Group seems to be in a very precarious position. They've sold off a piece of their business for scription, likely to generate much needed cash to service a significant debt. The fact that this sale only covers a part of their obligations and their main financing agreement is coming due in August is a major red flag. It suggests they might not be generating enough operating income to meet their financial commitments. The mention of potential bankruptcy isn't just a low probability threat, it's a serious consideration they're putting out there. Which means they've likely explored all other options and this is a real possibility threat. It's a serious consideration they're putting out there, which means they've likely explored all other options, and this is a real possibility if their current negotiations with Retriever fail. The strength here, if you can call it that, is that they are being transparent about their situation and are actively trying to negotiate with their creditor. That proactive approach could lead to a better outcome than simply defaulting. The weakness is the overwhelming debt itself, the lack of successful strategic alternatives so far, and the tight deadline. The biggest risk is the potential failure of the negotiations with Retriever, which could lead to a loss of control over the company's assets or a forced bankruptcy. An opportunity, albeit a slim one, lies in successfully restructuring their debt or finding a new strategic partner quickly. My take is that WAG is in survival mode. The sale of Accession was a necessary step, but it's not a silver bullet. Their future hinges entirely on the outcome of their discussions with Retriever. If they can't find a resolution, the company's continued existence as an independent entity is very much in doubt. It's a high-stakes game of negotiation and the clock is ticking loudly. Alright, that's our deep dive into WAG. Group Co's latest filing. What's your take on their situation and what they might do next? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, do us a favor and give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more corporate insights. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next Decode.